Hello, friends, and welcome to Escaping the Mouse with your host, me, Buck Rowell. All right, we got a little bit of stuff we need to put up in the guest bedroom today. As you recall, a couple years ago, my father passed away. Well, a lot of things happened very, very quickly at that same time point because my parents were originally planning on moving into an apartment, which meant they were going to sell their house and move into the apartment together. And the day they moved out of the house and moved into the apartment, and that was a couple days before my father died. So there was a lot of chaos that was happening in those couple days. And the truth is, I haven't really been to California since I was at his funeral more than 2 years ago. And there were a bunch of things that I inherited from my father that have basically just been kind of being trucked around with my mom wherever she went. They were in her garage in the apartment in Huntington Beach when she moved there. And then when she moved up to Folsom, they ended up in the garage there. And it was basically a whole bunch of things that had been meant for me, some of my dad's tools, some of his personal belongings. And that was a big part of the reason why I drove to California. Not only because I wanted to pick up Flash, but also because I had all this stuff to haul back. And some of those things today we're going to hang up in the guest bedroom. But I want to show you kind of all the things that I kind of inherited, because there's some kind of fun stuff. A lot of this stuff is stuff I haven't even unpacked yet. It's just stuff I put away, put to the side so I can get to it when I'm ready. But I got my dad's old computer tower, so we're going to go look at that and see if there's any photos or anything that's important. There's a lot of historical family documents and stuff like that. This here is my dad's baby book. And so it's got handwritten notes by my grandmother discussing my dad's early life. And back here are also some of his books and stuff like that he collected. You recall that I have a second or third or fourth or cousin or something like that who is a famous photographer named Galen Roll. Well, my father had a whole bunch of Galen Roll's books too. A lot of them are autographed by the author. So, obviously I wanted those in my collection. And these are some of the things that I just brought back with me. That's an electronic picture frame right there, pair of binoculars, just some little things that belong to my dad, or in the case of the picture frame, my mom, that I ended up with here. And here are a couple other things that I inherited. That's a router table that belonged to my father, a little scroll saw thing, a sander, a belt sander thing, and that, I guess, is a hand planer, so that's kind of cool. And a brand new router is in that thing, and that's kind of great to get that too, because I have a router, but mine's starting to get a little old. So this one is new, brand new in the case. I don't think my father ever used it. He saw some of the kind of cool things I did with my router, and I think that inspired him to go buy one. But like I said, I don't think he ever did anything with it. And he's got this nice table that came with it. So, you know what? We'll make use of that. And I also got a few things that I've moved already into the guest bedroom. Let me show you that. So one of the things that was actually stored in my mom's garage that originally was supposed to be mine was my dad's big screen TV. Now, it turned out when I got there and really looked at the thing that it was going to be way too big to fit in the car. And so we elected not to go with that. But there was this one floating around. This one used to be in my mom's TV room in her house in California. And instead of taking the big one, which wouldn't fit in the car, I took this one. And I'm going to hang that up on the wall right here. And so that's going to be part of the guest bedroom. I got an old DVD player I'm going to hook up to it. I'm also going to go buy a Amazon Fire Stick so that you can get like YouTube and that kind of stuff back here. But this is one of the special things here that I've been waiting for a long time. This was a plaque that my father got when he retired from Northrop, commemorating his retirement and all that fun stuff. And it's kind of cool because it's autographed and signed by all of his friends at work. So I ended up with that, and that's going to go right here beneath these B2 images here, because this is just going to kind of be the dad wall here. And so that's going to go there, and that's what we want to do today. It turns out when the previous owners left the house, they actually left a high def flat screen TV mount on one of the walls. They took the TV, but they left the mount. Well, I removed the mount about 2 years ago when I moved in, but I still have that. And like I said, I'm going to hang the TV right there. I got to get a remote for it, but I've been able to find one online, and it's also possible my mom has it. So she's going to look and see if she can find it. Otherwise, I'll just get a new one get one online for $20. But let's start by hanging up this TV. Actually, before I start, I want to make sure the TV works, because these things are kind of delicate, and then if they get bounced around a little bit in the car ride home, they can be damaged. So before I spend any time hanging it, I want to make sure it works. So I just kind of temporarily set this thing up on top of the dresser here, and obviously it works. So let's get it hung on the wall. Alright, so I got the TV mounted on the wall. I've also actually made a trip to Home Depot and picked up another Amazon Fire Stick. So we're going to plug that into one of the inputs, and that'll give you like YouTube and Netflix and all that stuff back here. And then we'll also have the DVD player. And at some point, I think I'm probably going to mount that on the wall, maybe underneath here, kind of similar to the way I did with the DVD and all the equipment in the living room. But for now, I think we'll just set the DVD on the desk here, and it can go that way. Alright, so for those of you who've heard of these Amazon Fire Sticks but aren't really sure what it is, basically this is the Fire Stick here. This just plugs into one of your HDMI ports. It's got a power cable here to power the thing up via USB port. Now it comes with one of these that you can plug it into the wall if you want, but a lot of TVs have USB plugs on the back of them, and this TV is one of those. So basically you plug this into one of your inputs, you have your remote, and basically this thing connects to the internet and any kind of a streaming service that you can get, YouTube, Netflix, Amazon Prime, or any of the streaming services. You can use this as your interface, and it will act as if you have like a computer plugged into it. It's really kind of a cool device. Jordan gave me one of these a couple years ago, and really like it, and so I figured, okay, well, we're just going to put another one in here. Alright, so some of this setup and configuration takes a little time, so while I'm doing that, I want to hang up this this picture here that my father got when he retired from Northrop. And like I said, that's going to go right here, and that'll just be pretty simple. But it'll give me something to do while I'm waiting for Netflix to configure. There we go. Got that added to the wall of fame here. That looks nice there, doesn't it? Along with all the other B2 stuff. Yeah, there was actually another one of these hanging in my dad's office for many, many years, and it was really disappointing. That one appeared to have gotten lost in the transition. We went looking for it. It was not in the garage in my mom's place. So, yeah, that was kind of disappointing. It was another really beautiful image of the B-2 bomber. And then it had a bunch of memorable pins around the outside. And like I said, somebody got a great prize and probably didn't even know what it was. And unfortunately, that got lost. But we got this one, and that looks great here. And it's a good part of the collection. And Netflix is configured, so let's move on from there. Alright, I got Netflix in and configured. We're good to go here. Now I'm going to move on and make sure YouTube is all set up, because that's an important one also. Alright, so I finished up configuring everything on the TV. The Amazon Fire Stick is all set up right. It also turns out that the Blu-ray player has some streaming ability too. So I've configured Netflix and YouTube on that as well. I probably will use the Fire Stick more than the Blu-ray player for that, but it's always good to have that on there in case something goes wrong. Turns out the Fire Stick is a little bit more efficient, a little bit quicker software than the DVD player, because sometimes with these DVD players, the streaming capabilities is just kind of an afterthought, and it works, but not as well as something that's really designed from the ground up to be a streaming service. See, putting streaming features on a DVD or Blu-ray player is sort of an afterthought. It's the primary thought when you look at the Fire Stick. So that's pretty good. I think we're good to go. I got one more thing I want to hang up over here, and it's another kind of a family thing, and let me show you what that is. This is something else that I've had for a while. I had it framed in my house in California, but this is really the first time it's shown its face here. This is a family tree from my mom's side of the family, the Wallstrom side of the family, and it goes back generations and generations and generations. I mean, I'm seeing, dates back here to 1720. So, I'm seeing, Wallstroms that were born in 1790, died in 1846. So this is really kind of a really cool family heirloom. I don't know exactly where it came from. It says here that it was updated in 1957. So this clearly isn't going to show me, but I would guess if I looked long and hard enough that I'd probably find my mom on here. Let's see, there's a lot of Oscars on this side of the family, so not sure there, but like I said, we're going to hang this up, and this has been an important part of my my family history for a long time. So let's get that on the wall, right? Not something you throw away. Alright, so I spent some time looking, and I actually did eventually find it. It's way over here in this corner. Yeah, you can see my mom right there, and her brother, and her dad, and a sister who died young. Alright, so I think we pretty much got this project wrapped up. Got everything hooked up here. Got the family tree up here on the wall. We'll probably get some more kind of stuff like that and kind of go around here a little bit more, kind of fill this in. It looks a little bare in places, but we got the B2 poster hung up, and that was something that was very important to get back from California, and I think it looks good with the rest of this stuff here, and got the TV on the wall and everything ready to go. So I think we're going to wrap this video up today. Thank you as always for watching, and I'll see you next time on Escaping the Mouse. Good night.